Welcome in. I am the. What was that? What was that? Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, like DJ, Kyle, and Oof, let's fucking go. Then make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Drop me a comment. You gotta click the bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday on this thing they call YouTube. Did everyone see Cryptos R Us had his channel banned today? I don't know what all the drama was, but let's not get my channel banned. I'm playing by the book here, YouTube. You can't ban this channel. There's no hatred on this channel. I just spread love and positivity on this channel. That's what this channel is all about. Welcome in, DJ. What do we got going on here? Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Yes, we all need to reiterate to Evan that he should not be panicking. He's been a little freaking out lately, but there's no reason to. Top 50 for Harmony 1. It's going to have to make quite a comeback if it's going to get back up into the top 50. It certainly has dropped significantly in market cap ranking. Not saying it's impossible, but they got to make a huge turnaround. Can we chart Harmony 1 and look at the recent drop? And is this just, and this is just for being awesome and presenting a contrarian view? Thank you, DJ. I will like that. And I can certainly chart Harmony 1. In fact, Kyle, welcome in. Oof, welcome in. Jake, Kim, welcome in. Injective, I didn't see Injective Protocol going crazy. I was trying to actually look for some charts. Injective hasn't done anything, my friend. I was trying to look for some charts ahead of the live stream, and the conclusion that I came to is it's one of those days in the markets that it's kind of like wishy-washy price action. There really isn't anything exciting going on. So what I wanted to say, kind of start off the live stream with, is I'm going to take TA questions. Certainly there are some charts I can cover here. I can think of a few charts to cover. But I do want to take TA questions on any crypto charts that you want me to take a look at. So with that being said, let's start the live stream off a little bit differently. Let's just get into questions. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, but let's get off this chart. We've looked at all these charts so many times. Let's take a look at Harmony 1. I have so many charts for Harmony 1. Why is this a 2-week, 3-day chart? That's interesting. Yeah, we've dropped below. Let me see. Double bottom didn't hold. So let me see. Yeah, unfortunately, DJ, that double bottom, I had that video come out on a bullish price pattern that is not common that you see, which is a double bottom on the charts. Actually, it might have been triple bottom. Now I'm forgetting. But we've broken below that. We've actually we've gone a little bit lower than we were back here. So we're just sort of bleeding with the rest of the market. You're seeing, and this isn't unique to Harmony 1. What I would say now about price action, though, and I'm always going to remain unbiased on this channel. I'm not going to tell you guys what you want to hear. Now that we've broken that price area, I mean, the chart is looking weaker. There's no question about it. This is a 2-week chart. It'd be interesting to see if we get some sort of a falling wedge pattern here, but there's no falling wedge. Yeah, the chart's just starting to look weaker, DJ, because we broke that floor of support right around, looks like it was at, like roughly 0.9 cents. And now we're starting to go lower. Now, on the plus side, we haven't gone significantly lower. I mean, we've barely gone lower than you can see here, our all-time low last year was 0.935 cents, and here we're at, 0.865 cents. So we have not gone significantly lower. So it's not monumentally concerning to me. But remember, I sort of bracketed the strength of altcoins into three broad categories. The first was we created a higher low this year versus 2022. That's the stronger coins. Double bottom, that's right in the middle. That's the second strongest. Okay, double bottom this year versus 2022. New lows this year relative to 2022, weaker performer. So right now, this is technically a weaker performer. Now, if we look at the 2-week chart, let's actually go to the weekly. I want to see how the weekly's looking. There's really nothing new to report, to be honest, DJ. I mean, there's really nothing to tell you. I mean, momentum is to the downside with the rest of the market. It's just consolidating. The RSI is way oversold on the weekly. MACD has made some significant progress coming back up, but we're still significantly below zero and have a lot of really, you know what? Here's my punchline on this chart. Oh, I'm never going to shill on this channel. I have way too much integrity, my friends. That is not what I'm going to do on this channel. It's not worth my time or effort. Like I always tell people when I speak about integrity, I mean, I never even stole a pack of gum when I was a kid, so I can't do that. What I would see, DJ, is this chart is not going to turn around. It's not going. Well, it's going to turn around. It's not going to turn around until Bitcoin starts turning around. Do I think that Harmony One is going to have a significant bounce at some point? Yes, but it's going to have a significant bounce with the rest of the market. If this is going to be a stronger performer, more recent price action would suggest that it's going to be a weaker performer. We need to start making some sort of a significant move up in price. I've talked about the fact that I'm really not interested in this chart until we start to recapture 3 cents. If we do look at the 3-day, yeah, my friend, there's nothing to report to you here. Is there any bullish divergence in the RSI? Okay, so there is bullish divergence in the RSI. That is good to see. You can see we do have higher lows coming in here, right? We do have higher lows on the RSI. As price is declining, okay, what that's telling us is sell pressure is starting to diminish, okay? There's not as much strength in the sell side pressure, even though price is going down, right? Besides that, man, we just got to be patient. There's nothing happening on this chart until Bitcoin turns around. Okay, hope you found that helpful. Wish I had better news. I myself am a huge investor in Harmony One, but it is not doing much. So just gotta be patient. We'll see what's in store for the rest of this year going into the next year. One RSI is looking good. Keep getting positive. There is bullish divergence on the RSI. Yes. Outside of that, my friend, it's doing a whole lot of nothing with the rest of the market, with the rest of altcoins. All right. Injective broke 8% today, bro. I prefer brother, but BROTHA. But if we look at my watch list here, I see Injective Protocol is up 1.5%. I don't really consider that a significant move. The other thing with Injective Protocol is that I recall, because we've evaluated that chart many times, $10 is the magical level, right? Until we get above $10, there's really nothing new to report, right? Similarly stated, there's really nothing new. It makes me think of Caspa for whatever reason. There's nothing new to report on Caspa, right? Until we start breaking up towards like 6 cents, you know, because we've gotten up to this 5 cent level and we've gotten rejected a few times. Once we start getting up to 6 cents, there's something new to report, in my opinion, on Caspa. Similar thought process on Injective Protocol. Till it breaks $10, yeah, it's just going sideways. All right, what other TA questions do we have here? We looked at Dorkle yesterday. I don't really know what, brother, I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like having 1 or 2 meme coins with a strong team building a community. So there is some truth to what you're saying. It's actually something that I hit on yesterday. So one of the things that I've hit on this multiple times on this live stream, you need to diversify your portfolio in a way where you're hedging your bets to various narratives, Okay, we've covered this before. But one of the narratives are social tokens or meme coins. And I completely agree with what you're saying. Technically, the only meme coin that I own is Doge. I do own some Doge. Not a lot. I don't own a lot. But I do own some Doge. Beyond that, I don't own any meme coins. But it's true. You got a small market cap like that. And you really could see it fly when shit starts getting really real. 100Xs are not out of the question. Good, I see a lot of good questions coming in here. Earthwalker, I've seen you in here before. You have a question on DAG. Let's take a look. Your wife is the meme queen? Are you serious? Is she the meme queen? Just treat her like a queen, all right? If you treat your wife like a queen, maybe she will treat you like a king. That's what one can hope for. What one can hope for. Did we look at this one before? I feel like we did. Yeah, we must have looked at this before. Have some sort of downward resistance here. Let's go to the weekly. So this is on KuCoin. Sorry, guys. If you notice, my energy level is a little low today. I'm feeling a little low energy today. All right, so we must have looked at this before because I do remember looking at this descending resistance here. This is DAG Constellation USDT on Tether. You can see that we have some nice descending resistance here where price is getting rejected. It sort of looks like it's in a channel moving down. Now, one of the other things I would point out, though, look at the downward pressure that was starting to fade. Okay, sort of a falling wedge here. I'm seeing a potential falling wedge on this, which would be bullish if this panned out. You could see a touch here, touches here, touches here, touch here. See if we can make this even more aggressive right there. Can't draw the lines through candle bodies. Okay, so this is on the weekly. So I like that there's a falling wedge here. Now, this is on the weekly. Let's take a look at price indicators. I like to see that the stochastic RSI is above 20 and we have a positive cross. Okay, 27 above 26. RSI is still oversold at 38 and the MACD is beginning to get some pressure to the downside slightly. Let's take a look at iStrain from earlier. Let's take a look at some areas of support. Okay. Green is always an area of support, and red is resistance. This is my major area of support right here. I really don't want to see this line break. You can see this was our last touch low here. If we're going to, I mean, clearly you can see this thing has been in a clear downtrend, whether it's a falling wedge or not, that pans out. Right now, we're trying to stabilize in this region. We don't want to lose this 2.4 cent region. If we start to lose 2.4 cents, I mean, there's other areas of price confluence over here. You know, we could draw more regions. I'm not going to muddy up the charts too much. I mean, you could draw something towards 1.7 cents. Or even higher. You could come up here and draw it at, 2 cents even. But regardless, or 1.9 cents, regardless, we really don't want to break this price area. Now, in terms of areas of resistance, get the fuck off my chart. In terms of areas of resistance, there's a rather obvious area right there at 4.2 cents, right? And I'll tell you my thoughts on this chart in general. 6.3 cents. See, the way that I'm identifying these areas of price confluence, I mean, this is literally stair-stepping down. This right now is representatory of the basic building blocks of a bearish narrative. We're getting the lower highs and lower lows coming in. So all I'm doing is I'm drawing areas of price confluence in between these stair steps. That's all I'm doing. Now, what I would anticipate if we do get a breakout of the falling wedge, I don't even want to look at the technical target for the falling wedge. What I would say is if we start to break out of descending resistance, this is all of the price confluence you can anticipate facing resistance, right? So if I entered some sort of a swing trade here, I would be selling into these areas of resistance. And I would, if I missed the boat and I wanted to get in, okay, I'd allow price to come all the way up here and hit resistance and eventually come down here and prove itself to continue building the higher highs and higher lows. Remember, if we do break descending resistance, quite often what price likes to do is revisit the descending resistance and springboard off of it as support. So that is what I'm seeing in the chart. Earthwalker. Oof, you're shilling but not shilling. You're shilling but not shilling. Okay, DJ, you got Pepe, Doge, and Shiba Inu, huh? All right, good for you. I did at one point I did own Pepe. Yes, I bought $5 worth of Pepe, and I opened a long position that didn't work out on Pepe for $5. I lost my $5 on Mexi. That is a true story, by the way. Algo, we want to take a look at Algorand, absolutely. I technically own a very small amount of Algorand. I did get in just because price kept, I think I bought in right at 9.5 cents, right around 9.5 cents, maybe even lower. But you can see we're just, but again, very small amount. I don't have much. So we're doing what didn't really want to see occur in the charts. Why is there a green line here? Did I fuck this chart up? Oh, 8.2 cents. Okay. So this wick here, I completely missed that. This is Algorand. You can see we wicked down to 8.2. Could we come down to 8? This is on a weekly, by the way. Could we come down to 8.2 the way it looks right now? I would put the odds in the favor of seeing 8.2 cents or something very close to it. Just because 9.5 I identified as a major area of price confluence, we broke below it. And because this candle body is now below here, what's happening is it's not guaranteeing anything, but it's significantly increasing the likelihood that we're going to come down at or near 8.2 cents. We really need, as an investor in Algorand, you need to see 8.2 cents hold. Because if 8.2 cents breaks, when we look left for price confluence, there's nothing, right? So I can't tell you if it's going to stop at the psychological 8 cent area or it could plummet all the way down to 7 cents or 6.5 cents. I have no idea. No one does. All we can do is use this chart to infer what is most and least likely. So 8.2 cents better hold. That's all I can say. Because you break that and you're in no man's land. MACD, RSI, we're oversold, man. We're just... and again, this is going to, in my opinion, unless if something significantly changes in the chart, I don't care what the narrative is around Algorand in terms of fundamentals. This, just by the chart alone, tells me it's going to be a weaker performer. I'm not telling you we can't do a 20x from here or a 30x from here. I'm not telling you that's not possible. But what I'm saying is the lows that were put in 2022 all the way at all the way at 8.2 cents, that is significantly lower than the low that was put in 2023, which is at 18 cents. Okay, so I put this in the weaker of the three categories that I defined for altcoins, and it's very weak. It's a very weak chart. So yeah, nothing new to report beyond that. In fact, I have to change this red to resistance. So sorry to all the Algorand investors out there because this chart looks pretty shitty, to be honest. And again, I just want to say this just because someone's going to miss this. There's at least one person that's going to misinterpret what I'm saying. I am not telling you that Algorand can't make some massive jump and go back into the top 20. I'm not saying that can't happen. But again, the live stream is called All in the Charts. And unbiasedly, just like I did with Harmony One, and guys, I'm a huge supporter of Harmony One, you know this. I'm unbiasedly evaluating the chart. And based on the chart, this is a shitty looking chart. And it should, in theory, most likely, not certain, be a weaker performer when altcoins run. Okay, so we will see. What else? What else? Oh, and that was for Kyle. Kyle, I hope you found that helpful. You split it up. The wife has BTC and meme coins. I've got one in Zill. Okay, okay. Glad you found that very helpful. Earthwalker. Yeah, it is true, especially on those small market caps. The earlier, obviously, you get in, the better. It's like that with any project, you know? I'm not shilling it. I'm just saying it's a similar thought process with Caspa. Caspa is not on any of the two major exchanges that everybody refers to. It's not on Coinbase, and it's not on, I can't believe it's not on Binance yet. It's not on Binance. Right, so there's less awareness about it, right? Now, specifically about these small meme coins, though, because the market caps are so small, and there's less people propping that price up, once more and more people come in and know about it, yeah, it's like a small boat in an ocean, right? It's gonna move once that wave moves, more than a larger ship in the ocean like a Bitcoin, right? What else? I didn't see any other questions. Are there any other questions for me? We can actually evaluate the Bitcoin chart real quick. Let me look at the major indices. Looks like we had a red day today. Again, I honestly wasn't paying attention to the major stock indices today. Okay, so we're down like a point, almost a point and a half on the NASDAQ, although I thought we were up a point and a half yesterday, or a point. DXY is sitting right around that 106, 107 spot. I want to take a look at the DXY real quick with you, because I haven't looked at it this week yet. But we'll take a look at the DXY. Yes, J. Kim, I'd be happy to take a look at Injective Protocol for you. We'll take a look at Injective. We'll take a look at the DXY. But let's give a quick update on Bitcoin. You can see no update on the 12-hour. We're still chopping above the 200. Daily, the same thing. Again, the key thing for me, again, this, if the candlestick closes today in this fashion and has this resemblance, again, I don't need to know the name of this candlestick. It's a bearish candlestick. Just looking at it, right? We have a medium to small red body with a huge wick going up, right? It's a bearish candlestick, but that's not the most important thing for me. It's not the most important thing for me. Nice, Oof. That's not the most important thing for me. The most important thing at this point is that we maintain price action at or above the 200 simple moving average. I saw someone else tweet out a chart today. Wasn't on Twitter much today, but I saw someone tweet out another chart that pointed to roughly the 28,500 or 28,600, 28,500, and why that was such an important level from a daily closing basis on Bitcoin. And my response to him was, basically, this is great to see. It's beautiful. Not surprising. I've pointed to 4 independent charts on my live stream for several weeks that have honed in and have price confluence on that $28,000 region. So now we have a 5th chart to kind of throw into the mix. So yeah, this $28,000 zone is a big deal. And you guys know I've pointed to that Gaussian channel, which at this point we need to get a weekly close above roughly 28,650. Let's just call it 28,700. Okay, so nothing has changed there. You can see this weekly. Again, the more times, guys, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Now, 3 times we've hit our head at the 200 simple moving average on the weekly since we got to close below it. Yes, that does tell us that the 200 simple moving average on the weekly represents a significant area of resistance. But you should know, if you've tuned in here a lot, the other thing that happens when you hit an area of resistance multiple times like this is it weakens. It's the same thing for an area of support. If we consistently came down to this area of support multitude of times, more than 3 times, chances are that $25,000 area is going to break on that. With each successive hit beyond 3, the likelihood of it breaking increases, right? So now we've hit this thing 3 times. We haven't closed the week out yet, but we've hit this 200 simple moving average 3 times. The 200 simple moving average is getting weaker and weaker. We'll have to wait to see how we close the week out. I'm hopeful I'll have a live stream on Sunday to kind of assess things. But if we close under it, but we've hit it, chances are we're going to break above this 200 very soon. You don't come up and hit this thing 3 times like this. Technically, we've hit it 4 times now. So to me, this tells us we have actually, yes, that's a good point. We've hit it 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this tells me starting this week, actually, we're getting increased likelihoods that we're going to break above this 200 very soon. So something to keep out for. Let me take a look at the DXY, and then I'll take a look at injective protocol because we haven't looked at INJ in a little bit. And I got a question on it. All right, let's see what we got. Again, this is a weekly chart. Those are my expectations. Yeah, so right now, again, there isn't anything super surprising going on. Remember, this is a gravestone doji. It doesn't need to play out, but typically if we were evaluating the graves, if we wanted to be bullish on the DXY, right? Let's say we pretend the chart is Bitcoin and we want the chart to go up. You print a gravestone doji, that's a huge red flag that more than likely this candlestick is telling us, yes, we can get bounces up. That's fine. But it's a sign of a trend reversal, lower lows and lower highs, okay? This is what this candlestick is telling us. I don't care about these 2 candlesticks. Where I would care is if we began to break up. If we start breaking 108, okay, then this gravestone doji has been invalidated. In this case, because we want to be bearish on the DXY, this is a very good thing. You can think of this not as a red flag, you can think of it as a green flag. To be bullish on the fact that this thing's going to roll over and it'll be good for equity markets and crypto. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it. The fact that these 2 candles printed the way they did, it doesn't matter. It only starts to matter until we start to make a move significantly higher and start getting up towards 108. That's when it would matter. Let's get into injective protocol. I feel like I'm losing my voice. I just feel a little exhausted, I'll be honest. Got up a little earlier today. Maybe stayed up a little later than I should have. Okay, I like what I'm seeing on injective. Let me tell you what I'm seeing on injective right now, which is very bullish. Okay, glad you brought this chart up, J. Kim. Okay, in charting, one of the most basic premises that you want to see play out in a chart beyond the bullish narrative of higher highs and higher lows, okay, for that trend reversal going up. The other thing you want to look for, and I always look at the 10, 20, 50, and 200 simple moving averages. You want those to go, would that be descending order? You want them to be in descending order on the chart. So you want the 10 above the 20, above the 50, above the 200, right? When the moving averages are in that order, then the price action is above those moving averages, it is signaling to us the shorter term price. This is in layman's terms what it means. The shorter term 10 has higher price movements and is more bullish than the past 20. The past 10 days are more bullish than the past 20, which has been more bullish than the past 50, which has been more bullish than the past 200. Everything is flowing in the right direction. All the strength in the immediate price action is outpacing older price action. That's a good way to look at it, right? So what I'm seeing in the chart right now, the other thing is the 200. Look at the 200. This is a 3-day chart. We are beginning to flatten and curl up. Look at the 50. It has flattened and we want to curl up, okay? That's the 50. This is, and you can see the 10 here is beginning to want to curl up. This is getting confusing because all the lines are, sorry, let me get this. This is what's going on in the chart right now, what I'm trying to demonstrate to you, and this is why it's bullish. I'm just doing a poor job of changing colors. And you can see that the 20, which is the yellow line here, is beginning to curl up like this. So when you get that ordering, 10 blue, 20 yellow, 50 purple, 200 pink. When you have them in this ordering, it's telling us with a high degree of conviction that most probable the trend direction is up, right? So I wouldn't be surprised. Now we need to break $10, but I like what I'm seeing here. We all the while, guys, we got the higher low. We got a double top, okay? We come up here. I mean, there's a couple things the way I could see this chart playing out. This is a really interesting setup right now. Let's remove the moving averages just so there's not as much noise on the chart. And let's have a conversation regarding my expectations on this chart. You can see where I drew this in. So my expectations on the chart would be one of two things, okay? Based on what I'm seeing. We're not even going to look at the price indicators. Let's just look at price action. It's king. See how we have this line coming up here? We could paint it a little bit more aggressive, but we'll keep it like that. And basically, you've got a flat top here. You can already probably see what's going on, right? So there's either going to be an ascending triangle formation, okay, where we're going to come up here and hit resistance here at $10. And then as soon as we don't clear it, people are going to get bearish and we're going to roll over and we're going to remain valid on the ascending line here. This would be a buy opportunity in my opinion, if that were to hold. And then the fourth retest is when we take it out, or we're just going to come right up here, scenario 2, and begin to break $10. But this chart setup is beautiful. I really like what I'm seeing, and I'm glad that you brought that up. Thank you so much, J. Kim. That's what I'm seeing in the charts. That's a pretty personal question, Oof. What I would say is that I think for me personally, when I've thought about, it's actually, if you're in a financial position, especially because, and I say this in the most modest, humble way, like I do very well for myself. I have a pretty lucrative career. But I've worked my ass off to put myself in that position. I work in a niche field. I took exams all throughout my 20s, even going into my very young 30s. So I put myself in the position that I'm in. Like I earned all of this. So there's an aspect of not really wanting to give up what I've worked so hard for. Not just because, I mean, it is lucrative. It's a lucrative job field. But I mean, I do enjoy what I do. For the most part, I do. So there's that aspect. And the other thing I would say is that because I've put a lot of thought into when I really consider my finances to be at a point where I'm financially independent, it is a very daunting thought actually to leave full-time employment. Because if you think about it, when you're born and raised, I don't know about you guys, but most people, you're sort of brought into this world to believe that you got to do the 9 to 5, right? That's all you know. And then you do it for as many years as I've been doing it. You get a paycheck every 2 weeks. You got the health benefits, which is critical. And you sort of feel secure in that, right? And so even if you get to a situation where you're like, I really could walk away, like I would be fine, like I'm good. It's still a daunting thought. It's still a daunting thought. So I think putting it in phrasing it in that way, what I would say is insurance is very expensive. Yes, I've gone through and believe me, I know. I work in insurance, so I should know, right? Having an employer that pays for a lot of that out-of-pocket cost for medical insurance is huge. I might pay my health. I don't mind sharing this with you. So I have a high deductible health plan. I might be switching to a PPO next year, but I have a high deductible health plan with an HSA, and my high deductible health plan is 50. I think it's like 50. It's 50 some bucks a paycheck. So out of pocket cost for me, I think it's 56 or 55. So out of pocket cost for me is like 110, 112 a month for health insurance. You go to the individual market and you try to get a comparable plan. I mean, I'll be paying $450, $500 for a plan. So, I mean, it's a significant cost. But where I was going with that is I do realistically think that more the way I've been leaning is when I do get to that point, because I have a lot of aspirations for myself and I will get there. I believe in myself. I think transitioning to part-time employment, I think makes the most sense. Just because you can retain your benefits and you still have a stable source of income, and then just kind of feel out the situation at that point and go from there. But great question, though. Something you can clearly see I've spent a lot of time thinking about. And during that discussion, half everyone just dropped off. Apparently no one's interested in that conversation. It is something to consider, though, guys. I don't know your financial situation, but something to consider. Something to consider is what are your financial goals? You know, do you want to do a 9 to 5 for the rest of your life? Which if you do, that's fine. Do you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you want to mix it up? I always thought, I have these conversations with people a lot. I always thought it would be so neat to be an actuary for part of my life. And that's sort of like one story. You know, everybody's life is a book, right? That's one chapter in my life. It's a big chapter, but it's one chapter. And then we turn the page and I do something completely different. Now, my current thoughts are that something completely different would be something similar to what I'm doing today. I don't know if it would be exactly the same. But yes, the financial markets interest me a lot. Crypto is a huge passion of mine. So maybe I sort of turn the page at some point and do something completely different in my life. I've given that a lot of thought, more thought than I care to share. For me, the amount is $5 million, and that's what I'm shooting for. If we only cash out $2 million, the wife can quit, but I'll keep working a bit longer. Yeah, you know, depending on your age and your financial situation, because believe me, I'm sure you can trust me on this. I've crunched the numbers. Now, you're younger than me, though. And I don't know your financial situation, so I don't know that $5 million would be enough. But yeah, for someone who's more in my age bracket, you know, you got a good $5 million, you should be set. You should be, if you invest that properly. So, welcome in, Black Oil. Good to see you. I'm loving it. Yeah, we gotta analyze the markets for what they are. Okay, I'll trust you on that. Well, if that is the case, then what I would say to you is you should be all set it with $5 million. I mean, Jesus, you should be fine. You want to buy a soccer team? That'd be pretty fucking sweet. What was I going to say, guys? I'm starting to digress here, and I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry, my brain's a little fried. I had a couple meetings at the end of the day here. Friday's starting to look a little busier than I had hoped for, at least in the morning. What was I going to say? Completely lost my train of thought. This happened when I was on the phone with my boss today, earlier this morning. Completely lost my train of thought, and I was like, this is what happens when you get old. I completely forget what I was going to say. I really do. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Now I know. And maybe it could start a gym. Yeah. Maybe we'll end it on this note. And this is something that you guys need to make sure you do moving forward. One of the things that I was spending some time looking at this morning when I had gotten up to do some chart analysis, I did not start my workday early. I just focused on the charts. I started looking at what I tried to do, and I think this is important, is I tried to look at the Bitcoin chart, in particular just focusing on Bitcoin, through the eyes of someone who doesn't believe what I believe. Like, what is the opposite view? What is a different view, opposing view from my own view in terms of when we're going to top? Like, what makes sense in the chart to say, yeah, maybe we won't top until late 2025, 2026? Like, what is present in the charts? And I think that's important because I've always said for the 4-year cycle maxis, that have that yellow brick road, the flaw in that logic is really twofold. One, they're operating in a silo environment and they're not hearing opposing views that make sense for other alternatives. And two, the halving dates are so limited in nature. These cycles, as they would refer to them, are so limited in nature. Bitcoin's only been through a few cycles, okay? So there's a major flaw there in that logic. So I also want to make sure that I'm looking at things from an opposing viewpoint and asking the question, well, I have to be very open to being wrong about my analysis, macro perspective on Bitcoin, because I've been wrong before and I will be wrong again. And so I just spent some time this morning kind of looking at the charts and trying to figure out, well, where could my analysis be flawed, and what are some views that could potentially lend themselves to to us peaking a lot later. So that's what I was looking at. I already have an OnlyFans, actually, guys. If you want to look me up, I'm not going to say, but I do have an OnlyFans, and I have a pretty large following. Although you wouldn't know it's me, but it helps pay the bills. I'll just leave it at that. We can inverse the. Hey guys, I'm not stupid, all right? Like, clearly, if you've, well, I'll just leave it at that. I don't know. This is not the crowd for my OnlyFans. That would be the ladies. We don't have any of those here. So, inversing it. This is interesting, right? It's always interesting inversing it. Inversing it, it certainly looks like we're very bearish. I mean, you could see here, we had this, again, we're looking at this from an inverse perspective. We had this huge waterfall, a little bounce up, which was down, another plummet in price. Again, this is inverse, another plummet. And then we started to rise. Now, we started to take out all these lower highs, which is good, but now we're sort of rolling over again. So, and you can see the descending resistance that we would need to clear. So, yeah, it definitely does not look like a very bullish chart, which is good for us because if we uninvert it, it is bullish. So, yeah, guys, I won't get into my OnlyFans club. Shit pays well. All right, so I hope there's some more exciting times for this week because I certainly don't want to come out here on Thursday and Friday and Sunday and we just have more boring price action. We need a little bit of, like, I want this to be the first quarter of this year. I want a little bit more excitement to come in, but regardless, even if there is not excitement in the market, guys, I will be back here tomorrow. I will be back here on Friday. I only have plans Saturday. I have better be getting back to me soon. Hey. There's Paul. All right. So, should be golfing on Saturday. Hopefully I'll hear back from my buddy on that. I'm hoping on Saturday. So, but besides that, I think I'm staying in on Friday. So, all right, guys. Until next time, which will be tomorrow. Let's all spread awareness and carry the education forward, guys. Take care. Let's all hope for a little bit more excitement tomorrow so we can have some exciting things to talk about. All right, take care, everybody.